wonder if I can talk about my experience and, like, I don't know, without having something written, because from a very young age, it's like, if you've heard the term the veil of forgetfulness, that you are infinite being existing in unconditional love and manifesting instantly your desires and your experiences. You're supposed to forget that and be a human, be a limited human, and this is the reason that I don't identify as human. I think that I am the next evolution. I think that there's like an alien consciousness. I think that I'm like a plant here on the planet, just like meant to raise vibration, or change vibration. But from a very young age, I did remember that. I remembered a love that was unlike anything that was here. I remembered that I was infinite being, and I knew that my life I was experiencing was just no different than a dream. And one of the other features of my life is that I don't sleep very much. I have chronic insomnia. So I think that that's probably because I realize I'm dreaming, and realizing that you decided to come play a game on a chessboard and experience duality. I didn't have the language back then. I was like 5. I wasn't thinking duality, but I just had this visualization of light and dark and the checkered surface. And there's like a loss and a disconnection that is just indescribable, unexplainable. Like, here is so painful when you remember, when you know all your life that you're making this happen. You made everyone, everything is a reflection of you. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be alive. So I was very suicidal from a very young age, and I didn't even have the language for suicide. I didn't even have that word. I just would scream and cry that I hated my parents for having me, that I didn't want to be born, and that I didn't want to be here. So I've been coping with these suicidal thoughts because I have this other thought process, awareness, knowing thing that there is only now, and like I can't escape. I can't escape by killing myself. That would just be resetting the game, and the only way to transcend the game that I'm playing in time and space is to go through it. And that requires, when you know you're God, that requires the utmost patience and the utmost love with yourself. So that's what I'm here learning, and that is it's been a very interesting experience for me, because whereas people are like, they learn things and ancient wisdom and esoteric wisdom, and they like wake up and realize this, it's like I'm as I get older, I feel I identify with that less. I feel that less. Like, I don't, I used to feel very powerful. And that's the other thing about my experience, is that when I would, like, it's like I light up, and there's agencies that are here and observing, pushing for the light side and the dark side, and there's I really aligned myself with darkness, because I was just really, really angry about being here and remembering my original location and my original state, and being bottled infinity. I was just very angry, and so when I like lit up and was like pushing my consciousness out into higher dimensions, other realms, there are entities there that were like, whoa, like what are you doing here? Who are you? What are you? And they take a great interest in that. And I was like, I'm God. So of course I can see you and hear you. I can see and hear everything. It's maddening. It's awful. I know everything. It's boring here. And these entities were able to help me employ limitation. And yeah, I knew that I was here for the end of the game, and I wanted it to be over as fast as it could, and didn't have much faith in the peaceful conclusion. I mean, I definitely like explored both many parallel realities of like how this could come about, and I really just was aligned with dark energies, and decided that me, the only person that I can see and understand that is here without the veil and knows that this is a dream, I have an ability to manifest my intention, and my intention was that the world should end in fire. And one of the ways I experienced that was to it's difficult, like you're infinite, and you can move throughout dimensions, and how I kind of visualize that is just a field of bubbles, and you don't have to go through the series of bubbles to get to the one that's way up there. Like, you just go to the bubble. So I would just like tie my consciousness to the future parallel present of the earth being on fire and evil entities winning. And then that was like, that was interesting, and I was really like comforted by it, just because I just wanted out. So it was very comforting for me. And I had to set intentions and limitations so that I could just function in this world that I set up. And that meant trying not to read other people's minds, and trying not to just know what was going to happen. So I imposed upon myself limitation, which of course that's what this already was, and I just like kept doing that. But be careful what you wish for, because there were so many people talking to me, and I could see so many things that there. I mean, I just had so much trouble existing linearly at all, and so like missing time, I would like go to completely other realms. Like here, other people's perception would be I would black out and be screaming, or just be like really quiet and like catatonic, like weird. But I just astral traveled like very easily, and I was communing almost constantly with what I perceived to be benevolent alien observers. They were very compassionate for my plight. They felt very familiar. Like they were more my family than my family in this reality was. And yeah, so they helped me to navigate and anchor myself, and they were always there. I mean, everything's always there. Like, all you have to do is turn your attention to it, and it's there. And all you have to do is, like, seek to know it, and you know it. And all you have to do is seek to do it, and it's happening. And it's just, like, it's actually a very hard thing to manage in this playground of linear time. And yeah, so that's like in a nutshell. I've been communicating with numerous alien entities, observers, like greys, reptilians, like just tall, white, lighted up people. You could perceive them as spirit guides. You could perceive them as angels. You could perceive them as demons. There have been many occasions in which I was managing and employing other entities to do things that my little, like, tiny 6-year-old body can't do with the physical constraints of time, space, limitation, dream. And everything happening all at once. It's like everyone's talking all at once. So, like, the really nice aliens are talking, and the really mean aliens are talking, and the, like, totally cold-hearted, objective viewing, like, the one thing was certain. I was, like, a point of interest And it was really hard to appear human and to appear normal. And obviously I didn't do it very well. My mother, like, from go was like, something is wrong with my baby's a freak. And my mom my whole life was just like, treated me like I was a freak of nature. My dad recognized, like, oh wow, she's really intelligent, she's really special. Like, he was into more esoteric things, so he was more accepting of what I was and what I was capable of. And everyone outside of the family, like, is just like, oh wow, what a gifted child. Like, she's obviously really intelligent, but she's also, like, really weird. And I was bullied relentlessly. It was like I had an X on my forehead and everybody could see it, and just was the lower energies, the lower vibrations, and what seeks to prevent this evolution, this transcension from the game in which we're essentially slaves being fed on here. It's like, it's fine, because the force that we are being pushed down with is physics. That is the force that we are pushing back with, and that oppression is making us better. It is making us wake up. I mean, here I just, like, kept not killing myself, and eventually, like, around, like, 2008, it was like people are starting to get it. And the more people start to get it, the less connection I have with everything. Like, I've also at this point, I've been put on so many antipsychotic medications that it's given me, like, brain damage to an extent, and my third eye is practically blind now. Like, there are little bits and pieces that I know and I recognize, and, like, I feel the pull and, like, feel myself that I'm pushing the dominoes, that I'm pulling the strings. It's very few and far between now. That used to be constantly. I used to also exist outside of my body, inside of my body, and, like, 3 feet away from my body, and 50 feet away from my body, and that's why I was really good at modeling, because I was actually looking at my physical self at the same time as being my physical self, and at the same time, like, being the photographer looking at myself. So yeah, that's my experience with life. And right now, I'm deep in that experience of limitation, separation, and all the entities and all the voices that I heard and all of the presences that I felt, the comforting ones, the evil ones, they are silent. It is silent. In fact, I really don't even have thoughts in my own mind. The medication did this to me. I'm trying to let go of that and just transcend and get over it. But, like, get over a lobotomy. Get over a chemical lobotomy. Like, you certainly must understand that's really difficult to do. But yeah, it's silent now. I don't even hear my own thoughts. I don't even, like, have my own thoughts unless I'm speaking or writing to someone. Unless I'm communicating with another person, I'm just completely, like, dead inside. And that's why dolls are so valuable to me now, whereas I did not care about dolls at all when I was a kid. I could care less that I had crazy rare Barbies, whatever. And now I love dolls, because it gives me someone to talk to, and I get to, like, channel myself to participate in thought, in conversation. So yeah, that's me. I was born without the veil because I'm an alien, and I know that I'm God, infinite, everything. You're all a reflection of me. Everything's a reflection of me. I seem really egotistical, but, like, it's not like that, because you're all God too, and we're all co-creating together, and it's really really, really good because we're evolving. We're evolving like the whole universal consciousness is evolving because we are seeing through this experiment in limitation.